From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, it looks a bit drizzly out there along parts of the coast. As you can see here, this is just north of Trinidad in Elk Country. You've got the overcast skies, some of the low clouds, and you can see some of the wet pavement. So it looks a little wet out there. Not a lot in the way of rain. We're just seeing, of course, just some of that drizzle out there. Now, we looked up to the north out towards Crescent City, and it's a different story. It's just overcast. The winds are still blowing a bit, but we're not really seeing much in the way of rain there. And then, of course, as we take you out to the valley, of course, it depends on where you are. To the south, out towards Lake Oroville, North Forebay, just a couple of passing high clouds, but then you head north and there are more clouds there. And that's just because of the positioning and the angle of that cold front as it kind of approaches. You can see out towards Lassen Park, this is the South Park entrance. We've got the overcast skies there, but no rain, no snow to speak of just yet. That'll be changing here probably later tonight and tomorrow. And finally got that Trinity Center camera up and running. Not me, of course, whoever owns it. So I want to thank them for getting that up and running. And looks like, of course, we're just looking at some of those clouds out there. But still looking at mainly dry conditions even out in the Trinity Center area as well. So showers, possible thunderstorms today and tomorrow. We're going to talk a bit more on the timing and where we expect most of those thunderstorms to be. Significantly cooler by Thursday. And I'm talking about, from what we've seen the last few days in the valley to a 20 to even 25 degree drop in some spots here. Snow levels dropping to as low as 1,500 feet. Can you believe that at this time of the year? But we certainly could be looking at in some cases here, but mainly dry and warmer as we go into early next week. So a bit of a roller coaster ride. Temperatures dipping, but then they start to kind of go back up again for the beginning of next week. And how about those winds? The winds will be kind of off and on, a little gusty here as that cold front passes later this afternoon. Then we take you into tomorrow around noon, a little breezy in some spots here. And really bottom line, when we go through the next 24 to 48 hours, we're not looking at major winds, just kind of off and on gusty winds at times, more of a nuisance than anything else, because it's not going to be damaging. It's just going to be one of those things where, every once in a while those winds will kind of pick up. So you can see the area of low pressure right here. And essentially what we've got here is the transition day. We are going from the warm and dry conditions that we've been dealing with over the last few days to the cold and unsettled weather pattern that we'll be dealing with here as we go into your Thursday and Friday. So that's what's essentially happening today. This band of clouds is, of course, the front that is moving to the south and east. So, of course, more and more in the way of cloud cover. So you saw that on the cameras, right? Where Redding, of course, you didn't see the camera for Redding because we didn't show you one, but Redding is seeing the overcast skies, but then you head south towards Oroville and you're looking at mainly sunny skies. With that, as it shifts to the south, Oroville will eventually see the clouds and, of course, eventually some of that rain as well. So let's take a look at that big picture. We're going to start off with that. This is the colder air that's moving down, and of course, it's going to bring us to showers and thunderstorms here for today and tomorrow. And again, we'll take a closer look at Futurecast here on the timing and where all that's going to be. But that colder air then moves out, but what will replace it is another pocket of colder air coming down by Saturday, Sunday. Now, this pocket of air not quite as cold as the one moving in as we speak, but it will keep those temperatures most likely below normal and also keep the atmosphere a little unstable. But overall, I'm not expecting a lot of activity for the mountains or the valley for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But, of course, some activity is there nonetheless. Then, as we go into next week, we've got high pressure, which will be building in right here. And that's going to bring in the warmer air for your Monday, Tuesday of next week. And that should shift very slowly to the east here towards the middle and latter part of next week as some more clouds and a little bit more instability tries to move in here towards the end of next week. But overall, I'm not expecting much in the way of rain after we can get past the next couple of days. The Storm Prediction Center has actually updated the severe outlook for today, and quite honestly, I don't know if I agree with it 100%. It has decided to go ahead and add Chico in the mix. But when we take a look at Futurecast, you'll see that that's probably not going to be the case. All right, so I'm going to take you into tomorrow as well. Also, don't 100% agree with the Storm Prediction Center on this one. I've taken my little line here, a little unofficial, and then of course if we were to shade all of this green, I would include all of this area to see a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow as well. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. We'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here's 3 o'clock this afternoon. You see Corning northward has a chance for showers and thunderstorms. You can see the line right here, also some activity in Modoc County. But look off to the west, Trinity County, Del Norte, Western Siskiyou County, and Humboldt County, all dry at this point. And still, for the most part, dry in Plumas and Lassen counties. But look at Chico, look at Willows, look at Orville. Basically, look at Glenn and Butte counties. It's dry for you. Now, it's borderline getting close. So is it out of the question for Chico to maybe see some activity? Not entirely, but I think most of it should stay to the north. In fact, even north of Corning, quite honestly. Right? Then you can see, as we go into 6 p.m. this evening, it's now pushing to the east. Even Reading, Red Bluff, Corning, all of the valley at this point looking dry. Although there may be some leftover activity for parts of the eastern parts of the valley. So places like Palo Cedro, for example, Los Molinos, places like that, maybe a leftover shower or two. Right? And maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. But now we're seeing the heaviest activity in Modoc County, eastern Shasta County. So Bernie, Susanville, you're getting into some of the action. That's 6 o'clock this afternoon, evening, and of course makes its way into Plumas County. But look at to the west of that. It is dry. But I've also got my eyes on this over here because that's eventually what's going to be impacting your weather here by tonight and tomorrow. Snow levels still pretty high. Look at, we're not really seeing any snow here on the map, with the exception of Lassen Park. Right? That's over 10,000 feet, right? So that would be expected. But as we go into tonight, we're going to see it drop down to about 3,000 to 4,000 feet. But you see how it's kind of wrapping itself up? We're just not seeing a lot of activity at this point. Dry for almost everyone else, but now the leading edge of all of this moving into the coast by 10 o'clock tonight. So the coast will see some showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm tonight. But look at this, dry and maybe even clear tonight for the valley. All right, now you can see that spin. This is cold and unstable air. This is that cold air I was talking about. This is why our snow levels will be between 1,500 and 2,500 feet. Look at Highway 299 west of Reading. Look at Highway 36. Look at Highway 3. We could be looking at the potential for snow and maybe even some early morning chain requirements on Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, not to mention Berry Summit. All right, then we go into about 8 o'clock in the morning. Now we're seeing the rotation around that cold and unstable air kind of coming in from the south-southwest. And there you can see showers and thunderstorms in the valley. Here's the snow beginning to make its way in some of the higher elevations. We're still seeing the potential for snow around Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, Berry Summit. So still on Highway 299, the potential for more snow, not to mention Highway 36. And of course, I-5 north of Reading could be looking at the potential for some of that snow as well. As we go into about the noon hour, we're kind of seeing break up. It's warming up a little bit. And this is going to be pretty standard for this time of the year. Even though it's cold overnight in the early morning hours, once the sun comes out, higher angle of the sun, it's going to be harder for that snow to accumulate on the roadways. Although some of the higher mountain passes to the east here, most likely, say above 4,000, 3,000, 4,000 feet, you may start to see some accumulating snow on the roads there. Chain requirements probably a very good possibility at the noon hour on Thursday. But as we go through the afternoon on Thursday, look what happens. We're still getting caught up in that flow coming in from the south, showers, thunderstorms for the valley, not to mention along the coast, and we're still seeing some of that snow even west of I-5, but once again, still kind of the warmer part of the day. I-5, you may have a trouble, seeing some of that accumulating, but it could be close. And then, of course, more of that off to the east. All right, let's take you into about 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Look at this. I mean, we're still seeing the potential for some pretty heavy downpours in some spots here. There's that snow, but see, again, warmer part of the day, look at Highway 299. You see how it's kind of turning back over to rain from snow, but very close for parts of those higher elevations on Highway 299, right? So bottom line is, through the day on Thursday tomorrow, make sure you check those latest road conditions if you plan on traveling anywhere in the higher elevations. All right, here's tomorrow night. We're still seeing it lingering. We're still seeing snow in the higher elevations. And now that it's getting at night, we're starting to see those snow levels drop back down about 1,500, 2,500 feet, and maybe some snow on Highway 299. But then, there it is, Friday morning. Still some snow to the east, and still a little bit of activity along the coast. But as we go through the day on Friday, we might get what we call convection. And what I mean by that is, you see how we have some clearing? We get the daytime heating of the day. That heat rises into the colder air that's moved in. And as a result, look what happens. Showers, maybe some thunderstorms even popping up on Friday. The Storm Prediction Center does not have any of this area in green indicating any chances for thunderstorms. But we can't rule out some thunderstorms for anyone, really, as we take you into Friday, especially for the valley and along the coast. So that's through Friday, 5 p.m. Once this moves out, we're not 100% out of the woods through the weekend, but as we get into the weekend, the chances for rain and even snow in the mountains are looking very slim. It's just not as, it's going to be cool, a little unsettled, but nothing major. And look at the rainfall amounts. Now this is picking up on the potential for thunderstorms. If the thunderstorms don't get very strong, we'll see less rain than this. If they get really strong, well, then this is a possibility of what we're looking at as far as rainfall totals are concerned. There you can see around an inch towards Eureka. You know, you may see more than that in places like Crescent City. So these numbers are not exact because it depends on who sees the stronger thunderstorms. Now, this is well, actually, no, it's just updated. So that's good to see. Could we see 2 to 4 inches around Mount Shasta City, Dunsmuir? Not out of the question. It'll probably be on the lower end of that. But look at Shingletown. Now, earlier, the model was indicating, you know, upwards of 12 inches. I don't see that happening, so I'm glad it's updated there. Chester, I think you're going to see more than what you're seeing there, but you get the idea. We're not seeing a ton of snow accumulation, but we could possibly even see some accumulating snow around Weaverville and Hayfork, although that might be overdoing it, 2 to 4, but again, you get the idea. These numbers aren't too far off from what I expect us to see here over the next couple of days. All right, here's what it looks like today. Temperatures upper 60s, even some low 70s. Where we're seeing sunshine for a good portion of the day is where we're seeing those warmer temperatures to the south. More clouds to the north, cooler temperatures, also the chance for thunderstorms. Now notice the lightning strikes, Red Bluff northward. South of that, chances are slimmer for thunderstorms. However, I would like to mention that we could see thunderstorms for Fall River Mills, Bernie, Shingletown, maybe even Manton later on this afternoon and evening. Paradise, though, most likely not, but places like Lassen Park, Chester, Susanville, Quincy, Portola later on this evening tonight, maybe a chance for some thunderstorms. And then, of course, I don't anticipate any more activity here westward, so should be drier for the rest of the day today for Trinity County, and not to mention even along the coast. Although, by tonight, the coast seeing some more showers. There's your 7-day outlook. There's that chance for thunderstorms this afternoon and evening for Redding and Red Bluff, but not so much in Chico. Thursday, everyone has a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, still a chance. In fact, better chance on Friday and then slimmer chances going on into the weekend, warmer by next week. For the coast, again, later tonight, some of those showers coming in, maybe some thunderstorms tomorrow, maybe a chance for some more showers and thunderstorms on Friday, off and on chances throughout the weekend, but nothing to really cancel any outdoor plans over. And then inland, you're mainly dry the rest of the day today, not to mention Weaverville. And then there you can see we are seeing the off and on chances going into the weekend. Mount Shasta, chance for thunderstorms this afternoon, as well as Alturas going into the evening hours. Susanville later on this evening and tonight, chance for showers, maybe even some thunderstorms too. And then, of course, snow levels around 2,000 feet. Could get locally lower at times, down to 1,500 feet in some areas. And then it's about the same on Friday. And then they should start to climb a little bit over the weekend with warmer and more sunshine here going into Monday and Tuesday of next week.